Name is Gary Baker. I served in the U.S. Navy from September of 1961 to about January 1966. On board the Topeka, we had a missile house. It was an armored part of the ship. And now I can tell you quite a bit about the time I could. But yeah, we carried about 120 missiles and dual launcher, and we had run them out on practice fires. You had launched a salvo. They only shot 2 missiles. One didn't get it, the other one would. And our time was spent working on the missiles. When we unloaded them from the weapons station Seal Beach, they were checked out as being gold missiles. As soon as they came aboard, we would check them out again to make sure they were gold missiles. And every few months thereafter, we ran through the whole load to make sure they were still gold. We had a test set that was run, it was on takes, and it had about 1 million little micro relays in it. You'd put this tape in, it's plugged in the missile, it started clickety-clacking and running, and at the end it would give you a go or a no-go. If you gave it got a no-go, you never troubleshooted the missile, you troubleshooted the thing that was testing. The missile was a lot more reliable than the test equipment. Now we're home port in Long Beach, and when you deploy, you go to, usually Yokosuka to Japan to start with, and then you're all over. We were in Okinawa, we were in Guam, of course Tonkin Gulf in 1964, we caught down the Tonkin Gulf. You know, the old Philippines, Singapore, Hong Kong, all the good ports. It was at that cruise and up until the Tonkin Gulf was a great cruise. We were in Yokosuka. We had been over 6 months. We were getting ready to come back to the States, waiting for our relief to arrive. I don't remember which cruiser it was. I think maybe the Canberra was supposed to relieve us. And in the middle of the night in early August, middle of the night, we go to general quarters. We're in port. You never go to general quarters in port, but we did. And everybody was wondering what in the hay was going on. Well, they finally secured us about 3 in the morning. And 8 o'clock the next morning, we were underway for the Tonkin Gulf, because that's when the torpedo boats fired out of the Turner Joy. We were what would become Yankee Station, which is about 200 miles offshore, giving surface to air support for the carriers. So no, we were never inside on that cruise. They were never inside of it, no. So we went down there, and I think we were down there about 60 days. Then we were relieved on station by our relief ship, I think it was the Canberra, took the Admiral aboard. And then we headed for Guam, the way back to the U.S. So by the time we got to Guam, we'd been out to sea for a couple of months, so everybody had a couple paychecks in their pocket. And it was Sunday. We pulled into Guam, the guys go on the beach, and they wanted to have a few drinks. The EM Club was closed. So they got a hold of whoever's in charge, and they opened up the EM Club for us. And boy, we did have a good time. They had a lot of money in our pocket. We had too good a time. When we went back aboard, got to see the story I got. We got a message from the commandant of the naval station: "Don't ever come back here again." So yeah, then we come back to the States, and everything was fine for us. I don't know whatever happened with the trouble we caused there. But it grew me up a lot. In fact, boot camp grew me up a lot. You know, I learned that you have to have a little bit of discipline. You can't run wild all your life, so that was good. And we had some good chiefs on board, and one you're going to interview his widow, Chief Jerry Judge, and he took us kids, and he was firm but fair. But he died a few years ago. It still hurts. We got back in it was about January. Trying to think. No, we got back in December that year, I think it was 64. And then we went in the yards and for several months, came out and did all our refresher training, and they were due to deploy again to the Westpac in November of 1965. And I was going to get out, well, I was supposed to get out in September of 65, and anybody that had less than 2 months to go did not deploy with them. So they told me if I could get my missiles checked out, we'd unload our missiles, get them checked out, I could get off. And I did get off before they deployed on that cruise. And then it was just a matter of waiting till time was up in January of 66, and I was out and headed home.